In today's training, we're going to talk about quick tips to help you stay consistent with posting content. So know that why you should be posting, it is part of the DMO, right? The DMO cheat sheet, 35553. First thing, you should be posting at least 3 times a day. You should be on the news feed. You can also do stories as well, quick little snippets, and that's the minimum. You can do a lot more stories, but minimum you should be posting on your news feed. And why? It's because when you have co-market, your warm market is checking you out, that's what they click on, right? That's something you want them to see what you're about. People are always buying you. Your social media profile is like your business card. How do you, what are you doing? How are you doing? What you've been up to with your family? That's what they're clicking on that. They're checking you out. So consistency is a problem. So how do you do that? I'm going to share a couple of tips. Number one is, as with anything, you want to create that time. Create the time, schedule and make it a routine. Anything that you do consistently, whether it's, I always joke around where you're brushing your teeth, taking a shower, or maybe you exercise consistently, you created a time and you're doing around the same time every day, right? It's a routine. So create that routine. Without that routine, it's probably not going to happen. Also, so in terms of creating it, being consistent, making it easy thing to do is teach from your notes, right? Teach from what you've learned. Teach from your notes. That's something that's helped me all the time. Write it down. Something you learned, write it down. If you watch a video, anytime you're doing any type of personal development, whether it's an audiobook or you're watching a video or team training, I've actually done this while I'm driving. I'll pull over and write it down on your phone. If you don't write it down, you will forget it. Especially the older you get, you will forget things. Write that down. Okay, teach from your notes, write it down. Also, go back to your old notebooks. Your notebooks has tons of notes. That thing is worthless. It's only worth something if you actually apply what you learned. Also, one way to apply it is to teach it. So teach from your notebook. Anything that you learned, go ahead out there and teach it. Now, you write it down. Another thing is you can Google for ideas, right? So if it's something you're passionate about, so for example, I'm passionate about sports cards. I want to help people. If I was creating a tribe of people with sports cards, I'll research them and there's a lot of blogs out there and I'll teach. Hey, this is what I learned. This is the best places to display your cards. This is how you take care of your cards. Teach. Right? Maybe your passion is yoga. Maybe your passion is raising kids at home, homeschooling. Whatever it is, there's tons of blogs out there. You can teach something, build that tribe, build that following. Whatever you're teaching does not need to be business related. It could be something you're passionate about, and you build a tribe. I always talk about if I had to start over again, right? And this is what top leaders do. Teach something. I love youth baseball, youth coaching. I'll go out there and find a couple of tips. I'll be teaching that consistently, going into groups, and then over time, I'll create a whole tribe of people that trust me, and they'll be a great prospects. Okay, so you can Google for ideas. Make sure you give credit where credit is due. Like I found this article on Yoga Journal. Here's a great way to do this pose. Always make sure you always give credit. Next tip is use a timer. Use a timer. That should be your favorite app on your phone. Set it 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, you got to get this done. Actually, for me, I actually get my posts done a lot quicker. You can set it for 5 minutes. You can normally, if you're under time pressure, you can get things done. If you're like, hey, go create a post, you know what's going to happen? You have all the time in the world and just taking your time, looking for the images, scrolling in the news feed. You never get it done. Use timer, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 15, no more than 15 minutes. Say, in 50 minutes, I got to get it done. Okay? Make the timer your best friend. Couple of tips is you want to plan it out. Plan it out. I found this helpful on the weekend. Sunday is a more relaxing time. Just plan out your ideas. Remember, go through your notebook of your ideas, notebook of things you learned, or Google an article. Just write it down. On Monday, I'm going to do this. On Tuesday, I'm going to do this. By the way, this is stuff I did and I'm still doing today. Okay, that's how I create so much content. I'm always planning it out. Okay, plan it out. Another thing is write new ideas down. When you have new ideas, so maybe, like I kind of shared with you before, you listen to a good audiobook, good idea, you want to share that? Write it down on your phone, okay? And when you plan it out during the week, you look at the ideas you had and you put in the schedule. So I always do this. Sometimes when I'm exercising, I got an idea, I write it down. And then when I'm planning it out, I go back to the ideas. Oh, I should be doing this. I make sure you implement those ideas. Because ideas without action is worthless. Zero. Make sure you take action on those ideas. Write on your phone so you don't forget it, and then you can implement them. All right? So there you go. Those are a couple tips for you to stay consistent with posting content. It's really, really important. Content creates authority, creates trust, creates respect. Make sure you're posting. Make sure you're a giver, doing that every day. So your action step, I just shared those things with you. Right now, I'm sure you have notes and stuff. Go be a giver. Go create some value. Share with others. Create consistent content. And you're going to get people who like you more, respect you more, and you're going to get better conversions when you're recruiting online. So anyway, those are some tips to help you stay consistent with content creation.